Her Excellency, the Governor, Mrs. Jane Owen, the Premier, Honorable G. Wayne Panton, the Speaker of the House of Parliament, Honorable Catherine Ebanks Wilkes, Deputy Governor and Head of the Civil Service, Honorable Franz Manderson, Deputy Premier, Honorable Juliana O'Connor Connolly, Honorable Ministers of Cabinet, Attorney General, Honorable Samuel Bulgin, Parliamentary Secretaries, Cabinet Secretary, Financial Secretary, the Chief Officer of the Portfolio of the Civil Service, Mrs. Gloria McField Nixon, Chief Officers, Department Heads, President of the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association, HR professionals, other senior managers, CIG Employee of the Year Hall of Famers, 2022 Employee of the Year nominees, 2022 Chief Officers' Choice recipients, members of the media, members of the audience. Good evening and welcome to the Deputy Governor's Employee of the Year ceremony, where we will celebrate the 2022 Employee of the Year nominees and ultimately learn which of them has earned the coveted title of Employee of the Year. For those of you who do not know, my name is Lauren Knight, and I am the Deputy Chief Officer of the Portfolio of the Civil Service, and tonight I am elated to be your Master of Ceremonies. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my 4th time serving as Master of Ceremonies for this prestigious event. And if you've attended the previous 3 ceremonies, you probably know how much I like emceeing. Tonight, however, I have an announcement that may come as a major surprise to you. For those of you who attend the event annually, you know that I'm a teeny tiny bit of a microphone hog. Similarly, I kind of, but just barely love the spotlight and a nice stage. I also marginally enjoy being on YouTube. Leighton, Joelle, adjust the camera angle. There. You got my good side. And finally, I don't put up too much resistance when they ask me to wear a nice dress. Right, Tara? Where's Tara? Notwithstanding my very slight love of emceeing this event alone, tonight I'm going to silence the microphone hog in me. Calm down, stop it. This is a one-time thing, okay? Where were we? Ladies and gentlemen, tonight you'll be pleased to know that I'm parking my stage selfishness, my exclusive love of the spotlight, and my microphone hoggishness, and welcoming to the stage my esteemed colleague, Mr. Mark Ray. Oh, hold on, phone's ringing, sorry. Hello? Mark, what do you mean you're stuck in the brack? Due to bad weather? Say what? Oh, that just can't work. Anyway, I'll make it work. Ladies and gentlemen, even the heavens knew that I was struggling to share this microphone tonight. So it'll just be me. The Deputy Governor's Award Program was first introduced in 2012 to recognize high-performing civil servants who deliver exceptional outcomes within their civil service entities or for the civil service as a whole. Tonight's ceremony, which honors the 2022 nominees, marks the 10th anniversary of this noteworthy program, which has not only carried on seamlessly throughout the years, some of which were challenging, but has grown significantly in terms of nominees and grandeur. In recognition of the 10-year anniversary of the Deputy Governor's Awards, and in particular, the man who stands behind the program, the man who envisioned, implemented, and continues to champion these awards, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in applauding the Deputy Governor, Honorable Franz Manderson. Notably, this 10-year anniversary ceremony is also the first for our new governor. Your Excellency, we wish to offer you the warmest of Caymanian welcomes, although if you have been outside at noon, the natural environment has probably done that for us already. It is truly a pleasure to welcome you to the Cayman Islands government, and I cannot think of a better introduction to the civil service than for you to hear of the outstanding contributions and moments of magic that were created in 2022 by tonight's nominees, all of whom are regarded civil service superstars. Before we move any further into the program, I'd like to address some important housekeeping matters, well, one in particular, and that is, if you have not done so already, kindly silence your cell phones. Thank you. We can now formally move forward with tonight's program, beginning with the singing of the national anthem and the national song. I kindly invite the acting news director at Radio Cayman, Ms. Shanda Gallego, to lead us in the singing of both.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. God save our gracious King, long live our noble King. God save the King. Send him victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save the King. Oh, land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair, with the Creator's glory reflected everywhere. O sea of palest emerald, merging to darkest blue, whene'er my thoughts fly Godward, I always think of you. Dear verdant island set in blue Caribbean sea, I'm coming very soon. Oh, beauteous Isle to thee. Although I've wandered far, my heart enshrines thee yet. Homeland fair Cayman Isle, I cannot thee forget. May be seated.
Thank you, Ms. Gallego. I now invite Ms. Azita Mae Bodden to lead us in prayer.
Good evening, everyone. Let us pray. Dear God, our Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight giving you thanks for the civil service. We give you special thanks for the Deputy Governor and his vision for planning working so hard to make this a world-class civil service. Lord, we thank you for this 10th anniversary, dear Father, that we could come together and show our appreciation, Lord, for the hard work of our civil servants. Lord, we thank you and we ask you to bless this night, and may we all go away feeling it was good to have been here. Lord, we thank you and we praise you in Jesus' holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Bodden. We are here tonight to honor 12 incredible employees of the month. These 12 employees ensured delivery against the CIG's 5 strategic goals, which are deliver an outstanding customer experience, develop exceptional leadership, pursue excellence in talent development, foster effective communication, and demonstrate excellence in governance practices. However, before the 12 Employee of the Month winners were selected, their nominations, of course, went up against the nominations of other exceptional candidates. These candidates, who also contributed to noteworthy outcomes and made lives better through the performance of their duties, were awarded the second highest honor under the DG's awards scheme, namely the title of Chief Officer's Choice. These hardworking individuals are highlighted in tonight's program and are also being celebrated here tonight. With that said, I kindly ask tonight's Employee of the Year nominees and the 2022 Chief Officer's Choice recipients to stand. Thank you. Chief Officer's Choice awardees, you will be asked to stand again after the Employee of the Month video for your respective month plays. At that time, an event ambassador will come to your table to present you with a special token. Ladies and gentlemen, oh, I did this part already. I was going to ask you to applaud them again. Why not? You are truly all shining examples of what it is to be world-class, and your conduct, work ethic, and service delivery is second to none. Congratulations to you all. As this year marks the 10th anniversary of the DG's Awards, we wanted to do something special to capture the journey and the memories over the last 10 years. To help do this, I gathered some Employee of the Year facts, as well as I reached out to a few of our past winners to learn a bit about their journey, from first being named an Employee of the Month to later ascending to the winner's podium. Let's start with some fun facts. Did you know that Miss Lynette Monteith, who is currently the Acting Chief Officer for the Ministry of Education, was the first ever CIG Employee of the Month? Here's another did you know. Did you know that Nicholas McLean was the first ever Employee of the Year? I bet you probably knew that one. In 2016-17, we had 18 Employees of the Month, of which I was one. How do you have 18 Employees of the Month in 1 year, you ask? Well, that particular year spanned an 18-month transitional fiscal year, so that's how. At the ceremony to honor the 18 Employees of the Month, 2 employees were selected, being Mrs. Aubrey Bodden and Ms. Tristica Ebanks. Another interesting fact, in 2018, the selection categories changed from most something, for example, I was most energetic, can y'all tell? To categories that aligned with the CIG's 5-year strategic plan. And final fact, in 2020, we opted to do team awards as opposed to individual awards so that we could recognize the tremendous team efforts that were necessary as a part of the country's COVID-19 response. Now, let's take a stroll back in time with some of our past winners. As you can probably imagine, a ceremony like this might bring with it some anxiety or nerves or worry. The ladies might be worrying about fitting into their dress or breaking a heel, while the gents might be worried about the barber messing up their hairline. Do my pants still fit? Should I wear a tie? When I asked our first ever Employee of the Year winner, Nicholas McLean, what was going through his mind as he was getting dressed for the 2012 Employee of the Year ceremony, he said that he rushed home from work, got ready as quickly as possible, and made his way to the governor's house because he wanted to be early since it was his first time going there. Our 2013 winner, Miss Venice Tatum, who is also stuck in the brack with Mark Gray due to weather, was nervously excited to see who would win and thought, dear God, please don't let it be me, as she did not want to go up on stage because she hates public speaking. In 2015, as Miss Gidget Powell was getting dressed for the ceremony, she was wondering whether she would be the lucky winner, but also thought that she'd still be dedicated to her duties even if she wasn't selected. The 2016-17 winner, one of them, Miss Aubrey Bodden, thought, I need to wear something with pockets. I found that response a bit odd, so I asked a follow-up question, which was why? To put the Caymanite statue in? But no, she wasn't that confident that she would win. The pockets were for her cell phone and her chapstick, the two things that she must always have with her. So as you can see, there were a range of random thoughts floating around in the minds of the past winners, from wanting to be early to needing an outfit with pockets. And as you can see, none of their thoughts about clothes had anything to do with whether they would fit. Astonishing. Anyway, back to tonight's show. The bold initiatives, targets, and desired outcomes that formed the Civil Service's 2022 work agenda lent themselves to agility and inventive thinking, and truly showcase the ability of civil servants to quickly pivot and deliver on the government's priorities, all with the common purpose to make lives better. For this year's awards ceremony, the Employee of the Year candidates come from across the CIG, representing a number of different ministries, portfolios, and departments. 3 of the nominees come from the Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing, and Infrastructure. 2 are from the Ministry of Education. 2 are from the Ministry of Financial Services and Commerce. And we have 1 each from the Ministry of Home Affairs, 1 from Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage, and 1 from Border Control and Labor. 1 proudly represents the portfolio of the Civil Service. And last but certainly not least, 1 happily flies the flag for judicial administration. Tonight's nominees didn't get here by accident. Rather, they're in this room tonight because of their consistent world-class performance and because someone around them took the time to carefully author a well-written, detailed nomination form, I'm stressing that for a reason, that effectively told the story of each nominee's performance and contributions. So for that, we wish to acknowledge and thank the nominators for their role in making tonight possible. At this time, I would like to invite the Honorable Deputy Governor to the stage to offer his opening remarks.
Good evening, everyone. DG, please don't leave the stage yet. I'm looking at your notes. But what a wonderful evening. Looking out at all of you and seeing so many amazing civil servants, their families, their supporters, is really, makes me feel really proud. I want to also look over at Her Excellency, the Governor, who is here with us, as Ms. Lawrence said, for the very first time. Welcome, Ma'am. It has been an absolute pleasure to work with you over the last, I think it's few weeks. But I can tell you, everyone knows that I had a great relationship with Mr. Roper, and I mentioned that at this ceremony, whenever that was. It just seemed like it was a long time ago. But I can tell that Ms. Owen and I are going to have that same very healthy working relationship. She is going to challenge me, she is going to question me, and she is going to ensure that we work hard together to deliver on our mission, and that is to serve the elected government and to deliver their policy priorities. That's what we do as a civil service. Is our job today, every day, is to work hard for the government of the day. How do we do that? Is by performing outstanding work. And the 12 nominees here this evening have done some absolutely outstanding work. They were passionate about their work. They don't work to their job description. They go out of their way every day to make lives better, to do their jobs. When you listen to some of the videos that are going to be played here, you're going to understand what I'm saying. Trust me when I tell you, we have 12 outstanding civil servants. It was extremely difficult for me to choose one. I say that every year, and it's true, and every year it gets a bit harder because we have so many outstanding civil servants in our amazing civil service. Yes. The governor and I was speaking this afternoon, and we discussed what makes our civil service, what makes our government better. You hear the famous economist, Ms. Martha Dukaran, said up until earlier this week, Cayman has the best run government in the region. Yay. How does that happen? It means everyone working together, our elected officials, civil service, the public service, everyone working together to make Cayman a special place, to make Cayman successful, to make lives better. That's what separates us from other jurisdictions. Many other jurisdictions have beautiful beaches and sunshine. Many other jurisdictions copy our laws. They do. Minister Andre can tell you that. But they are not viewed the same as our beloved islands. And that is because of our people. So be proud. Be proud. So I just want to say a little bit about my duties to decide that one person. this year. So I get all of the nominees in. I look at all of the big folder with all of the documents. I look at the nomination form that was submitted when they were made Employee of the Month. I look at their performance assessments. I look at any other documentation that is provided. I look at the videos to see how they conduct themselves and how they could represent our amazing civil service. I put all that together and did that this time, and I got stuck. I had 4 winners. In civil France, you can't have four winners. You've had 2 winners before, but you certainly can't have 4. So I prayed about it, thought about it some more, looked over the documents again, and I think I have come up with an amazing civil servant who is going to make us all proud this evening and over a long period of time. But if I sound proud, it's because I am. We achieved some amazing things in our civil service. We don't talk about it enough, but we do some amazing things, and that is because of all of you. I wanted to also mention the president of the chamber who is here and thank him for coming. And folks, it's when persons like Mr. Dilbert shows up here, he has his finger on the pulse of what's happening across the business community. He knows when things are
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is with immense joy and gratitude that I stand before you today to express my heartfelt appreciation for being awarded this prestigious title of Employee of the Year 2021. This recognition holds a special place in my heart as it not only acknowledges my dedication and hard work, but also reaffirms the importance of public service in our society. First and foremost, I would like to extend my deepest thanks to Mr. Manderson, who chose me as the Employee of the Year for 2021, Ms. Gloria, my Chief Officer, who chose me as the Chief Officers for the Chief Officers Award for February 2021, and Elizabeth DePledge, who nominated me. Thank you all for considering me worthy of this honor. Your commitment to recognizing excellence in the civil service is truly commendable, and I am humbled to be standing here as a recipient of this esteemed award. I would also like to express our gratitude to my colleagues and teammates. Each and every one of you has played an integral role in my journey, supporting and inspiring me along the way. Your tireless efforts, unwavering dedication to our shared mission has made this recognition possible. Together we have achieved great things, and I'm honored to have had the opportunity to work beside such incredible individuals. Furthermore, I extend my heartfelt appreciation to Joe and Katrina, who have guided me and provided invaluable support throughout my career. Your wisdom, advice, and belief in my abilities have been instrumental in shaping me into the professional I am today. To my family and friends, thank you for your unwavering support and understanding. Your love and encouragement have been my pillars and strength, empowering me to strive for excellence and persevere in the face of challenges. I am truly blessed to have you by my side, and this award is much a celebration of all your support as it is of my achievements. Last but certainly not least, I want to offer my warmest congratulations to the new winner of the Civil Service Employee of the Year Award. Your dedication and commitment to public service has not gone unnoticed, and I have no doubt that you will continue to make outstanding contributions to our community. Cherish this honor and embrace the responsibilities that come with it, as you have now become an inspiration to others who strive to make a difference. Again, I wish to reiterate my sincere gratitude to everyone who has supported me on this incredible journey. It is through your unwavering encouragement that the collective effort of our civil service communities that we can create positive change and make a lasting impact on the lives that we serve. Thank you once again. May we continue to work together, shoulder to shoulder, in building a brighter future for our society.
Thank you, Loretta. Okay, folks, we've made it to the segment of the program where we're going to see and hear from our 2022 Employee of the Year nominees. We begin with the January Employee of the Month, Erwin Schmid, who is an inspector with the Department of Planning. Erwin won under the category of delivering an outstanding customer experience. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to know our first nominee.
I'm a building inspector, electrical. Started originally in 2004, and that was to deal with Ivan that year. Then I went back into the private sector from here. Still didn't like it, so I came back. And then they retired me when I was 60 because of the policy that was brought in. The policy somewhat changed. This is, come back. So I came back because I like it. We have some amazing structures going on this island. If you'd seen some of the houses I go into, you wouldn't believe it. And I just like to see, I'm nosy. I like to see things. Plus, I know everybody. I know a lot of the young kids that when they came in, I was in construction at the time, I seen them come in, and now I see them have their own businesses. I know them well, almost all their lives from working. And I get on fine with them. Sometimes they have to be chastised, sometimes it's good. But that's what I do. Most of these big high-rise buildings we have now, a lot of safety concerns. And of course, there's also a lot of targets to meet to get these buildings working where they should be. That makes lives better because it ensures that we have very, very few accidents on the island. I can't remember anything really serious ever happening because we are very strict. And it makes people's lives safer and much better. And of course, the way the industry's going, there's a lot of good houses coming up now, so most people can get into a decent, nice home, which is safe. We brought a lot of regulations in over the years: smoke detector protection, means of egress, safety lighting, all these things that make people's life much safer and comfortable. It makes people confidence in where they are and like where they are. And they're not always trying to change because they are content and safe where they are. They do not want to flit around and try to find better or whatever. Because basically on the island, everything is pretty good. The dynamics of this island, we have everything. Children raised here should think themselves very, very lucky. Very lucky. Because it's such an easy place for them to integrate and grow. And the chances are phenomenal. I believe my job is to serve the people, to make sure that I do the job on time, efficiently, and do not stress them or hold them back in their endeavours. My job is to make sure it goes forward safely, smoothly. And I like that. I like to see this little island growing. This much concrete, but growing.
Mr. Erwin Schmidt, an inspector with the planning department, is the chief officer's choice, largely due to his passion and dedication in the inspection of building control for the planning department. I would like to recognize Deputy Chief Officer Leda Nickerson Masakari and also Deputy Chief Officer Tristan Hides, who were acting as Chief Officers for the first half of 2022, and in large part why you have such great nominations. There are literally tens of thousands of plans and inspections that are carried out every year. And Mr. Schmidt was nominated by his head of department, Mr. Haroon Pandui. Mr. Schmidt was my choice because of his dedication and his consistent professionalism for the Cayman Islands.
I really appreciate the way the island's advancing in a lot of good ways. So that makes me keep going. Life is too miserable to be sad. And I don't expect it. I'm not looking for anything. I'm not a person who believes in medals. You do what you're supposed to do. It's just my philosophy.
I'd also like to acknowledge our January Chief Officer's Choice recipients, Wayne Powell and Raymond Singh. Gentlemen, please stand if you are in attendance, and then an event ambassador will run a small token over to you. Congratulations to Erwin, Wayne, and Raymond. Next up is the February Employee of the Month, Katrina Watler, who is a drug court rehabilitation officer and the acting supervisor of the criminal registry at Judicial Administration. Katrina won under the category of Developing Exceptional Leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear a bit about what Ms. Watler did to earn her a place in the finals tonight.
My name is Katrina Watler. My position was Registrar of the Drug Court and Acting Supervisor of the Criminal Registry. I ensure that the drug court clients are compliant with the courts, making sure that they attend their probation meetings, their counseling meetings, call in 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and the computer random selects them. So they would come and do the test at the court's office. I have to ensure and keep the records for that to ensure that they're compliant with what they're required to do. If they're not, we would meet as a team to see what sanctions to give them, and we agree on a census. It's a 4-phase program. Once they complete, they graduate. It matters to me somehow because I see where certain people will come in, big addiction, been doing it for years from when they're a teenager, and then they become adults. They have kids, they have that same lifestyle for their kids, but then when they put their mind to it, that they want to change, and you see that change, it makes me feel great, that I was part of that. I was part of their rehabilitation. It's a good reward in the end. Once they graduate and come out a productive person in society. I'm always available for my team. Education is key. Any little training that they need, I push them to do that, to develop themselves. And I feel that that's key to ensure that we have that education to serve. I like to make sure that my team have that foundation to assist the public.
I nominated Katrina Waltler because she's a quiet influencer. She works in a criminal registry, and this is the part of the organization that supports the magistracy mainly and the Grand Court judges who deal with criminal offenses and traffic offenses. These divisions are the workhorses of the criminal justice system. The turnaround of work is tremendous on a daily basis, but they get through it like an orchestra. I think the tone is set from the top. I see Katrina as somebody who is helping to make leaders of tomorrow. I've seen promotions happen amongst her team, and I know a large part of it has to do with the way that her staff model themselves off of her, the advice she gives them, the hands-on involvement that she has as a leader, the true ambassador of what a judicial administration employee is, and somebody who supports the courts in the administration of justice.
We're civil servants, so that's our duty. We have good teamwork. We're the ones, the magistrates, the judges give those sentences, right? We have to ensure that they get the correct records to do their job with our partner agencies. The police arrest, the police charge, the DPP rule on the charge, and it comes to us, and we're that gateway that, okay, it's registered in a timely manner, it goes to court in a timely manner. I feel that my job didn't go unnoticed. All of the hard work, all the effort that I put in on a daily basis, it never went unnoticed. For someone to actually notice me, I felt good. I felt special.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's also take a moment to recognize the February Chief Officer's Choice recipient, Krista Wood. Ms. Wood, please stand if you are in attendance. I don't see anyone standing. Congratulations, Katrina and Krista. Moving right along,
award. I really appreciate that. I didn't do this journey. And public stakeholders, a lot of people just had a passion. I definitely feel good about all that.
Let us also take a moment to recognize the March Chief Officer's Choice recipient, Tariq Hani. Tariq, please stand if you are in attendance. Congratulations, Colin and Tariq. It is now time for us to highlight our first Moment of Magic winner. DG, I'd be grateful if you could join me on stage to make the presentation. Tonight's first Moment of Magic Award is being presented to the Department of Communications for their magnificent work to ensure that Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II was honored after her passing in September 2022. The passing of Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II temporarily brought the world to a standstill as nations stopped to mourn the loss of an outstanding monarch. From the moment the Queen's passing was announced through to the end of the official period of mourning, the Department of Communications set the tone for Cayman's response to her passing. Prior to her death, the Department of Communications had already developed a comprehensive communication strategy to support Operation London Bridge. The strategy clearly explained all aspects of mourning and the resources needed for effective public relations in preparation for the inevitable passing of Her late Majesty. A core team met to refine this strategy multiple times in the preceding months and began preparing content that could be deployed as soon as direction was given. While the department was prepared, it also displayed tremendous agility as key messages, events, and timings changed rapidly. This resulted in the team having to balance informing the public of the changes while documenting this pivotal moment in world history. The Department of Communications' 4 units, namely Internal Communications and Engagement, Strategic Communications, Public Relations, and Content and Production, each had unique outputs, yet maintained a consistent style and voice across all CIG channels. As a result of the Department of Communications' efforts, almost all government activities attracted strong engagement from the public, both virtually and in person. The team worked an estimated 350 additional hours to meet and exceed the expectations of stakeholders. While the death of Her late Majesty was a solemn occurrence, the diligence and performance of the Department of Communications was truly a moment of magic. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming the first Moments of Magic team, including their Chief Officer and Minister, if present, to the stage to receive their award. Congratulations to the Department of Communications. Continuing on with the Employee of the Month nominees, next up we have Ms. Lysandra Clark, who is a financial administrator in the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage. Lysandra won the Employee of the Month award in April for developing exceptional leadership. Let's now turn our attention to the screens to learn about Lysandra and the deliverables and attributes that got her here tonight.
My name is Lysandra Clark, Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage, Financial Administrator. I process payment batches, payroll, assist with the budget, ensuring that the daily operation when it comes to finances is processed accordingly. Our ministry went through difficult times when we lost our chief financial officer. We didn't have the sufficient manpower to get the work done. He provided me with an opportunity to step up and be able to assist in every role. I take pride in paying and processing the financial grants, assisting young people, athletes, artists within our community in our country, facilitate payments, opportunities for them to continue to grow and develop and to represent the Cayman Islands locally and also internationally. We ensure that our departments run smoothly when it comes to their finances. People think of finance as, oh, you just crunching numbers behind the scenes and stuff like that. But in my opinion, finance is an integral part of everything that we do. And it's reflected amongst our community even when we don't realize it. Going back to thinking when I joined the civil service, I was here still working as a financial administrator, but we were supporting people in need, people that were going to difficult situations. So we ensured that they had their funds provided to them in a timely manner so that they can make sure to pay their rent, get their food, pay their utilities bill, and still support their families. Artists can continue to be creative. The young people, our athletes, can continue to develop and grow to the next stage that they need to be to represent the Cayman Islands. Leadership to me is someone who takes the initiative to ensure that those around will be guided to achieve whatever needs to be achieved at a particular moment in time. This is Melissa Worms. I admire her very much because she's someone who truly cares about the development of others. Selfless. She helped me so much. She encouraged me to be the person that I am today. I'm also grateful to work with all my peers. I've seen Miss Teresa Echeniki achieve so many great things, and she is completely devoted to this ministry. She cares about our community and she cares about what we do, that we make the community more aware so that they all have an equal opportunity to reach out. I think it will be great for us to support each and every Caymanian that is out there that is trying to make a difference, that needs an opportunity to continue to grow and develop. I mean, at the end of the day, our ministry is the root of our country. I mean, we are the Ministry of Culture and Heritage. We are the ministry for sports and the youth. And these are the pillars of our country. If we can understand how important it is for these pillars to continue to grow and develop and strengthen, then maybe our future will look even brighter.
Lysandra has truly brought not only professionalism, hard work, and dedication, but she has an amazing balance. Her personality, her sense of humor, just her overall caring and compassionate ways allows her to be that civil servant that we truly can refer to as world class. Lysandra stepped up as she always does and took on roles and responsibilities that far exceeded what she truly was responsible for. Lysandra is an asset that we are extremely proud of.
I get to make a difference on someone's life, that I can work from behind the lines and know that the experiences, the knowledge, the skills that I bring into the table is not measured by a shareholder's pockets, profit. but instead is measured in the thriving of a community and ultimately a country.
As we've been doing throughout the night, let's also take a moment to recognize the Chief Officer's Choice Awardee for April, Ms. Tosca Seymour. Ms. Seymour, please stand if you're in attendance tonight. Okay. Congratulations, Lizandra and Tosca. Our May Employee of the Month is a Senior Compliance Officer in the Department of Commerce and Investment. Justin Miller won the May Award for delivering an outstanding customer experience. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to know our fifth nominee.
Justin Miller, Department of Commerce and Investment, Senior Compliance Officer. I'm passionate about my work. I get good satisfaction out of providing excellent customer service. I like to see clients happy and helping them starting up their own businesses. I know that good customer service is key. I love the team that I work with, the people that I get to interact with on a day-to-day basis. I love my job, love coming to work. I don't find it to be a hassle to have to wake up to come into work in the morning. I look forward to it and helping the community, helping the islands, helping people to realize their dreams and get their businesses up and running and open, which is a small part of what we do, right? There's other things that we do here at DCI, but yeah, that's what drives and motivates me. We regulate the designated non-financial businesses and professions. We regulate the real estate sector and the dealers in precious metals and stones. Make sure that they are compliant with all the regulatory laws that are in place, anti-money laundering regulations, counter-finance and terrorism laws. It matters from a standpoint of the reputation of these islands, right? Compliance mindset, it is key, just protecting the reputation of the Cayman Islands. World class, in my opinion, is providing exceptional customer service. And to me, that means meeting whatever the client's expectations are or exceeding those expectations.
Justin has always been that person with a very calm spirit. When you meet him, you'll realize what I'm talking about. Doesn't seem to get angry at anything, but he takes pain in being patient and being helpful. He will go above and beyond to assist others. For example, if someone else needs assistance with doing their work, he will always volunteer, and then he will put in extra time to get his work done. He takes on the same attitude with customers. I've stood and watched Justin take numerous calls from one customer who does not understand something, and he will sit there patiently and he will listen. He will go on the computer to help them. He will have them come into the office and sit with them, and they will keep calling, and several times per day. But Justin will never not take someone's call, even if that person has called for the 50th time for the day.
I can understand the frustration that clients go through having to deal with the process. I like to resolve issues. That's the key for me. If they had to call back a second time or a third time, maybe I wasn't clear enough the first time. Maybe I didn't explain it properly, explain the process properly. So I look at it as a way for me to improve as well. I try to put myself in their shoes because I'm familiar with the system and how it works. I'm more than happy to get on the phone with them to try to walk them through the process. If they're still having issues, I'm more than happy to have them come into the office and set up a PC and sit with them and walk them through the entire process as well.
I keep saying to him, I think people just love to hear your voice, Justin. That's why. But he will always help them through whatever they're going through.
Just to get them to complete their online registration so that they can get through with their application for their business license and just get their business up and running and provide an income for themselves, right?
He sort of took on immediately the culture within the DCI. It was never a time where there was a struggle for him to fit in. He came in, he fit right in, being helpful, trying to be the best DCI that we can be. We appreciate him for doing that because, of course, he did it within such a short time and exemplify what we want to see as an employee of DCI.
They get to provide for their family, but then the community as a whole starts to prosper. That for me is very important.
The Chief Officer's Choice recipient for May, who we wish to shine some light on as well, is Saskia Dunkley. Ms. Dunkley, please stand if you're with us tonight. Congratulations to Justin and Saskia. Next up is the June 2022 Employee of the Month recipient, Mrs. Katrina Wilson, an HR executive within the portfolio of the Civil Service. Mrs. Wilson won her award for delivering an outstanding customer experience. Let's learn a bit about the attributes and performance that got Katrina recognized as Employee of the Month for June.
Hi, my name is Katrina Wilson, portfolio of the Civil Service within the Strategic and Corporate HR unit. I am an HR management advisor and I lead the data team. I received the Employee of the Month award in June 2022 under the category Delivering an Outstanding Customer Experience. The data team is responsible for developing and maintaining our newest HR information system. This new system had eliminated the need for 5 different systems/processes that were done independently and were not integrated. The employee logs in one time and is able to complete a range of HR activities. It's been a lot of work to move from all of these separate processes and systems to one integrated system, as well as a massive change for not only our team and the way that we operate, but also for every employee and manager. We're all in this together. There are parts of it I don't know. There are days when I'm a little nervous about the change and I don't know how to do something because it is new, but we learn together. It's important for us to put our hands up and say, I don't know how to do this, or, ooh, I did this and I think I messed up. Because when we mess up, we raise our hands and we say so, and then we work together to fix it. And most importantly, it's about building trust and having mutual respect. Because without trust and mutual respect, we can't do it. We can't achieve any of our goals and to deliver to our clients, who then deliver to all of our customers across the Cayman Islands.
Today, her innovations are delivered through others, and as the leader of the data and payroll team, Katrina continues to be on the front line of making lives better, improving the ways of work across the civil service. Katrina has dedicated herself in her career to doing just that, an exceptional leader, particular about the delivery of customer service to her teams. Even on days when the customer may not be too happy, she always shows up with a smile, a can-do attitude, and a practical solution that can make sure that we've made someone's work a little easier that day.
There are many examples of people working with colleagues in other ministries and departments that they've never seen their face, but they talk to them all the time. And I have so many examples of people saying, "It's you. I talk to you on the phone all the time, but I didn't know what you looked like. And I saw your picture in my Vista and I now know who you are." So I think that just that small example of having a photo in our system that employees can reference and then be able to connect a little deeper with their colleagues builds that working relationship. And those working relationships are so important, especially when we're working across ministries in order to deliver the outcomes. Every day, we get emails and calls, and there are people who are frustrated on the other end because they don't know how to use a certain module within my Vista. And I want our customers to know that we care and that we listen to their frustration and their needs, and we want to resolve them. I don't want to let my team members down, I don't want to let the portfolio down. I don't want to let my family down. So that drives me to do the best that I can, because there's so many civil servants who do an amazing job every day, put in so much effort. They're driven by their purpose of being a civil servant to deliver. And to be recognized as one of them really touched me. So thank you.
There were 4 Chief Officers' Choice awardees in June. They are Isabella Hubble Butler, Chester Hurlston, Vadley Levy, and Michelle Minzet. If our June Chief Officers' Choice recipients are in the audience, kindly stand. All right, and I see event ambassadors on their way over with your token. Congratulations to Katrina, Isabella, Chester, Vadley, and Michelle. At this time, we'd like to recognize the second Moment of Magic winner. DG, I won't bring you up just yet. I'll let you sit down. It's a long read, so I'll call you up like 3/4 of the way through, okay? The winner of the second Moments of Magic Award is the Youth Diversion Initiative, which was created and launched by the Department of Children and Family Services, or DCFS. The DCFS youth team, which comprised David Hunter, Shireen Barnes, Marilyn Innes, Calvin Duncan, and Loy Webb, created the initiative with the aim of reducing recidivism of juveniles in the youth court system. And I just want you all to know this was supposed to be Mark's part in the script. And he struggled with recidivism. So, yay me, I nailed it the first time. In collaboration with partnering agencies and private sector companies such as the Counseling Center and FN Sports, DCS was able to provide its clients with the support and resources needed to explore alternative options when faced with difficult situations. 2 major success stories that resulted from this initiative were 2 young men, ages 13 and 17, whose lives were completely turned around as a result of the Youth Diversion Initiative. Both boys were initially referred through the justice system, and both previously had difficulties with making decisions that would lead to positive outcomes. However, through engagement with services like those offered by FN Sports, both young men were able to shift their existing paths to focus on new paths that would lead to success, or will lead, I should say, to success. Through this initiative and with the help of FN Sports, one of the young men is currently being provided an opportunity to represent the Cayman Islands in a regional boxing tournament. This same young man has become an exemplary student and citizen. The other successful participant in this program recently took part in a tournament in Florida where he represented the Cayman Islands in a Taekwondo tournament. Not only did this young man participate, but he earned both a gold and silver medal, which placed him into the national competition. At this juncture, this young lad not only trains for Taekwondo, but also imparts his knowledge and discipline by teaching classes to younger students. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming the second Moments of Magic team, including their Chief Officer and Minister, if present, to the stage to receive their award. Congratulations to the Department of Children and Family Services. And ladies and gentlemen, to put your minds at ease and to quiet any data protection concerns you may have, Aubrey, Angela, where are you? Permission was obtained from the parents of both young men to share their names, images, and videos. Okay, folks, we're halfway through our 2022 Employee of the Year nominees. Now's a good time for us to walk us down memory lane again. Over the last 10 years, Employee of the Year winners have served as ambassadors for the civil service and have assisted the DG with various tasks and special events. I polled some of our past winners, specifically asking them about their most memorable EOY moments. Our 2012 winner, Nicholas McLean, shared that his most memorable moment was when the DG asked him to speak at the new employee orientation. Nicholas said that being able to share his experiences with new civil servants was a thrill, especially when his BlackBerry, yes, you heard me, BlackBerry, rang in the middle of his speech. Mr. McLean recalls fumbling as he tried to silence it, and then fumbling some more trying to recover his place in his speech, all while trying to make a joke about what had just happened. Our 2013 winner, Miss Venice Tatum, confessed that she couldn't choose just one memorable moment, as the entire year was fantastic. Included in her fantastic year were 2 media rounds with the DG on Grand Cayman, which she said was more than enough for her. Our 2014 winner, Miss Gidget Powell, shared that her most memorable moment was being on Radio Cayman, the Radio Cayman morning show with Mr. Orrick Connor, and on West Star TV with the Honorable Deputy Governor. She recalls feeling very proud to be a civil servant. How awesome. What amazing opportunities. Now let's get back on track with the 2022 nominees. Up next, we have Ms. Rosa Rich, a compliance manager at Workforce Opportunities and Residency Cayman, or as we refer to it, WORK. Ms. Rich earned the July 2022 Employee of the Month title by demonstrating excellence in governance practices. Let's now turn to the screens to learn a little more about Ms. Rich.
My name is Rosa Rich, Compliance Manager with the Work Department, Employee of the Month for July 2022. When I think about it, when I started my career, I remember trying to find a job, and back then it seemed difficult and I had a lot of anxieties about it. But in comparison to today, I realized that it was a whole lot easier back then than it is now. So with me in my role in the compliance unit, it gives me the opportunity to aid in any way I can to ensure that Caymanians are not being disenfranchised. For example, you have a lot of young Caymanians that are coming into the workforce, and unfortunately, it is challenging. But clearly that is not something I alone can do, let alone the work department. But it is something collectively as a community that we need to stand together and ensure that we're looking out for our people and doing the best that we can to assist them. So just knowing that my job can aid in this way, it gives me purpose and direction. One of the areas that we're trying to improve upon is creating a risk register. This risk register would identify employers or individuals who have breached the Immigration Act, deal with their applications in a more specific, strategic manner. So I think that will definitely be a benefit to Caymanians. Allow them not to be disenfranchised. We may have work permits that are being submitted by employers, and we all know it's conveniently applied for. However, when we have a system such as the risk register, it can identify persons who have breached the Immigration Act, perhaps for doing similar things, and this way we will know where to put our focus.
Rosa is one of those employees that is known for her professionalism and especially for her integrity when it comes to investigations. Blessed and brilliant investigator, and she's been relied upon by our ministry and other ministries for her efforts in documenting proper investigation techniques that allows us to move forward on matters. She self-directs, has been brilliant in her efforts to go through, and her drive and determination is second to none. Her work stands for itself. Employees who are good at what they do and do it with integrity are ones that should be celebrated.
The journey to world class holistically has improved the civil service greatly for accountability purposes. I think government workers, knowing that we're being held accountable now, more so than before, not only improves the organization, but it also improves the individuals. Civil service is on the way of becoming a world-class civil service. Just want to thank Acting Deputy Director Mervyn Manderson and Chief Officer Howell for recognizing me. If I really had the power, I would want to see Caymanians educated and holding jobs, holding high positions, doing the things that they want to do, and not being subjected to having to work in lesser capacities and having to struggle to survive in their country. That's what I'd want to see.
July also saw 5 Chief Officers' Choice awardees. They are Ventisha Connolly, Jody Dixon, Miriam Jennings, Anna Lester, and Jerron Mignot. If your name was called and you're in the audience, kindly stand so that an event ambassador can run a small token over to you. Congratulations, Rosa, Ventisha, Jody, Miriam, Anna, and Jerron. The August 2022 Employee of the Month winner, Mitzi Watson Jervis, is the Acting Director of the Department of Commerce and Investment. Mitzi was selected as the top employee in August for developing exceptional leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to know our 8th nominee.
My name is Mitzi Watson Jervis, Deputy Director for the Department of Commerce and Investment. If it's one thing my life has taught me, it's that paying it forward really is paying it now. Our tomorrow are limited, and our yesterday is what makes our today what it is. But our today can bring a world of opportunity to spread a wealth of moments that teach and nurture and bring others to the tables of tomorrow. So it's important for me that every day I come to work, it's with a focus to help others grow and develop to reach their full potential. My role comes down to leadership through mentorship and coaching with the goal of overall team success. The global pandemic shifted how businesses worldwide operated. DCI found a way to adapt to the new ways of working by prioritizing communication and recognizing the importance to continuously develop. It's not enough to recognize that we have to work differently post-pandemic. We have to also prepare differently as managers. People have new issues that pre-COVID, they were not so compelled to put at the forefront. So recognizing new ways of working without preparing our management on how to continue with productivity and efficiency is a recipe for disaster. At DCI, we were able to work and issue licenses throughout, and I perceive it's a testimony to the great makeup of our managers and, most important, our staff, as each navigated to persevere through difficult times at different stages. This is always our goal, to facilitate that growth, and that's world class. I contribute my success and leadership by demonstrating values such as care, appreciation, and respect for all members of our team. Through communicating with members, I'm able to understand their motivations, their strengths, as well as their challenges. Then I try to align where possible tasks and goals with the individual's interests and strengths.
All of us in the department thought she was worthy of this. The person we look at for positivity, always positive. And that smile is always so capturing. I don't know if she knows it, but her favorite phrase is, "Don't worry, we'll get through this."
It's truly humbling to be recognized, and I'm super grateful for all of my team members who I'm fortunate to share experiences of success and growth with. For me, it's not about the wins, but more about the winners I get to work with as I help them make their mark in this life. Work may seem like a small part of our journey, and in some cases it should be, but we spend so much of our lives at work, and for me, I appreciate being a part of that journey for my team.
In addition to Mitzi's win, the month of August also saw 5 employees receive the Chief Officer's Choice Award, and I would like to recognize them now. They are Nathan Chesney, Mark Codling, Saskia Edwards, Greg James, and Kurt Powell. Kindly stand if you're with us tonight. I see our event ambassador, our busy little bees, making their way over to you. Congratulations to all of the August winners. Okay. The September Employee of the Month, Miss Linda Isaac, is a Senior Accounts Officer within the Ministry of Education. Ms. Isaac won the coveted award for September for demonstrating excellence in governance practices. Let's once again turn our attention to the screens where we will meet our 9th nominee.
Linda Isaac, Ministry of Education, Finance Department, Senior Accounts Officer, AP. I check and validate most of the batches that come into the department to pay vendors, approve most of the purchase orders, and I badge our overseas vendors' payments.
Ms. Linda makes a good chief officer's choice because of her quiet dedication to her work. When you look at the work that she does, she validates 900 invoices monthly, 98% of our purchase orders in the ministry, or a very large ministry. Also, she does this in a timely manner. In the finance unit, as we all know, it is about pleasing our clients with getting those payments executed as quickly as possible. So against that backdrop, you can see her exemplary work.
Knowing that people are depending on me, I want to live up to their expectations or even exceed their expectations. Knowing our school children of the Cayman Islands are depending on us as well to have a good experience at school. It all interrelates because when we keep the vendors happy, they're able to do the work for us that we need to get done so that those children can get their education.
When you think about financial matters, protecting the government's purse, you have to be accurate in your work in making those payments. Also, it's about pleasing your customers as well. So if you're not able to process payments in a timely manner, then we'll have clients who are not very pleased and may not want to work with our government or our ministry. So it's really very important for her to be meticulous so that there are no mistakes made and also timely.
I'm not satisfied with mediocrity. I've been in the working world now for quite a bit of time. I try to strive to do better each day so that I can make progress in my life and in the lives of those around me. When we meet the goals given to us and sometimes even exceed those goals, I think persons are very happy to know that they can come in and get that kind of experience. When I see colleagues helping each other to meet goals, it really makes my heart sing. And when they come in sometimes to work and not really expecting to work extra hours, they still do it on such short notice.
all of that really makes me happy when I see things like that happening in our department. I can give you my own experience in growing up and going to school. I remember it was not always easy for my parents to find money for lunch. And when you're at school and you're hungry, it's not a good feeling. It didn't happen often, but it did happen occasionally. So I would imagine that those children that come in knowing that they can have a lunch at school and not have to worry about how their stomach feels when they're in the middle of a test or trying to do something for school, I would imagine that that gives them a good feeling, as well as their parents, that they know that they can go and do what they need to do for the day and not worry about their children and whether they can eat or not. That is why I do what I do.
When we were making the award to her, she preferred to stay in the background, so it was quite a feat to get her to acknowledge her own worth. She mentioned in speaking to the staff that it's about her team. So that's the type of person Miss Linda is. Really not taking the gratification for herself, but rather saying this is a team effort.
I would like to thank my CFO, Ms. Denise Hutchinson, for nominating me, Ms. Lynette Monteith, our acting chief officer, for selecting me as the Chief Officer's Award. I just feel like it's a really great place to work. I enjoy the people. I love the people I work with.
And it is my understanding that Ms. Isaac is not here with us tonight because she is unwell, so your thoughts and prayers would be appreciated for her. In addition to Ms. Isaac's win, we also had 3 Chief Officers' Choice awardees in September. They are Rael Roberts, Sandra White, and Eric Ebanks. Kindly stand if you're here tonight. Congratulations to Linda, Rael, Sandra, and Eric. Now it's time for our next Moment of Magic award. In fact, in the DG's view, this particular nomination exceeded the criteria for a Moment of Magic, so this victory has been dubbed the World Class Service Award. This new award recognizes teams and projects that are a source of inspiration to other public entities in the Cayman Islands and abroad. DG, please join me on stage once again to present the first ever World Class Service Award. The winner of the World Class Service Award is the Financial Reporting Authority, which is being recognized tonight for their first-class delivery of Operation Hector. The Russian invasion of Ukraine led to an unprecedented number of sanctions being imposed on Russia by the United Kingdom and other countries. These UK sanctions impacted the work of multiple agencies throughout the Cayman Islands government. On the 16th of March 2022, the CIG established a joint task force known as Operation Hector to coordinate, identify, and make policy amendments to implement the sanctions against Russia. Operation Hector's primary purpose was to facilitate centralized discussions and decisions around policy and communication arising from the ongoing sanctions work. Operation Hector is chaired by the Director of the Financial Reporting Authority, Mr. R.J. Berry, with the Cabinet Office as Task Force Coordinator, facilitating and coordinating interagency cooperation, policy, and communications. Much of the day-to-day operational sanctions work falls largely on the Director of the Financial Reporting Authority and the Sanctions Coordinator, Ms. Kim France. The governor also delegated a number of functions and authorizations to the director of the authority, including responsibility for receiving and processing license applications and compliance reporting forms. As a result of the unprecedented activity under the Russia sanction regime, there was a significant increase in financial reporting authorities' engagement with the Governor's Office and UK partners, primarily the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, the Office of Financial Sanctions Implementation, and the Department for Transport, particularly regarding license applications. The significant increase in license applications also resulted in collaboration and cooperation between the Financial Reporting Authority and the Attorney General's chambers. Since Operation Hector was established, 1,178 compliance reporting forms related to the Russia sanctions have been received. Among other things, said compliance forms have reported frozen assets totaling US $8.38 billion and 298.6 million euros. Through Operation Hector, the CIG has been able to demonstrate a robust response to the sanctions against Russia. Both the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office and the Office of Financial Sanctions Implementation have provided positive feedback on Operation Hector. Not surprisingly, this joint task force model has been mentioned as a possible model for other British overseas territories, and the Financial Reporting Authority has already worked with some overseas territories to share its experience. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome to the stage the First Class Service Award winner, the Operation Hector team. It has been noted that Mr. R.J. Berry is away on business. However, he has asked that Acting Director Roman Reyes come to the stage in his place. Cabinet Office come up and accept the award on their behalf? Oh, they're coming. There they are. Congratulations to Team Operation Hector. Now on to tonight's 10th nominee, Ms. Sarah Orett, a customer service officer within the Facilities Management Department. Ms. Orett won under the category Delivering an Outstanding Customer Experience. And if any of you have had the pleasure of being greeted by her in the reception area of the GAB, winning under that category will make perfect sense to you. Let's have a look at Sarah's video to hear how she's worked to make lives better.
My name is Sarah Louise Orett, and I am the supervisor for the Government Administration Building Reception. The Employee of the Month for October 2022. Outstanding customer service. Every morning that I get up, the first thing that I say to myself is Happy Friday, because when you look at it, every Friday, we are in a good mood, we're bouncy, we're all ready for the weekend, and it's the same mindset that I like to have my customers and my staff relate to their customers.
My mother showed me a lot of kindness, compassion, and empathy for persons. Of course, Cayman Kind is one of the things that we'd been doing before the name Cayman Kind came out. And my mother was one of those persons that went out of the way for any one of her guests. She would buy groceries for them in the morning before their flight came. She would bring persons in for them that they could cook for them personally at their condo, and rather than going out to dinner. And it was getting babysitters for their children when they were all ready to go out for dinner by themselves, maybe. So every customer that comes in is the same customer. You have to realize that if they come in torn shoes, or they come in a torn shirt, or their hair is not combed, they're just as important as the man that comes in a suit and tie and the briefcase. The main thing that I try to do with persons when they come there is try to understand what is it that they really need at government admin building, and whether or not I'm able to assist or I can appoint someone else. The other day we had a young lady come in. She was homeless, and I work with homeless people, and I was homeless 30 years ago. The first thing I do is usually pray, because with all these things, God should be important and in their story as well as mine. So I try my best. Every customer that comes in, I will listen first, and then secondly, I would do everything possible to make their lives a little bit easier than what it is when they walked in there. The face of government is not a title I bestowed on myself, but the first thing you do see when you get in there is myself or the other receptionist that is there. You have to represent not only yourself and your department and your ministry, but you're representing the entire staff of government. I am there to help my people. I've also been a customer. The same service that I would like to see is what I intend to give every customer that comes through that door.
Mrs. Sarah Orrit is the Chief Officer's choice for the Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure because of her continuous professionalism. She's an absolute delight at the reception. Government receives hundreds, if not thousands, of individuals over a year. That can be from the governor or a person coming to ask for information. Ms. Sarah treats them all with professionalism and with dignity. She's exactly what we want our customers to see, and she exemplifies world-class civil service.
I would personally like to thank Serena Whitaker, who nominated me. I appreciate everything that my department has done for me since I've been here. I work with a very strong department, very good people. Mr. Eric Bush, an amazing chief officer, always there to support me. I would also like to thank the Honorable Deputy Governor, Mr. Franz Manderson, for coming down and giving me my machine so people could say happy or not happy. So I've been at him for a few months for that, but he finally delivered it for me, and of course he wasn't disappointed with the results.
In terms of Chief Officer's Choice recipients, October 2022 was a record-breaking year, with not 5, not 10, but 11 Chief Officer's Choice winners. They are, and I ask that you please stand when your name is called, Rosita Ebanks, Raymond Gale, Leilani Eden, Keisha Leslie, Keon Moore, Karen Christian, Cottrell Ellis, Shania Espinosa Britton, Stephanie Scott, Tanisha Barnes, and Zoila Ebanks. So I'll take a slightly longer pause here because the event ambassadors have quite a few tables to get around to. Although they are moving fast. Looks like we're done. Congratulations to Sarah and the October Chief Officer's Choice recipients. Ladies and gentlemen, only 2 nominees to go. Our November nominee is Mrs. Lisa Malise, Acting Deputy Chief Officer in the Ministry of Home Affairs. Ms. Malise won Employee of the Month under the category of Developing Exceptional Leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to know a little bit about our 11th nominee.
My name is Lisa Melise. I am the Director of the Department of Community Rehabilitation. I am currently seconded to the Ministry of Home Affairs as the Acting Deputy Chief Officer. The entities which fall under the Ministry of Home Affairs include the Department of Community Rehabilitation, His Majesty's Cayman Islands Prison Service, Cayman Islands Fire Service, the Department of Public Safety Communications, the Cayman Islands Regiment, and the Cayman Islands Cadet Corps. I was selected as Employee of the Month for November 2022. I understand that I was nominated for developing exceptional leadership. If I had to describe my leadership style, I would say that it's a combination of authentic and collaborative. For me, this is always underpinned by respect, humility, empathy, fairness, integrity. These are important qualities that I hold fast to. I believe that it sets the foundation for achieving positive results.
When you think about a leader, you have to think about her in the context of being a superstar. Lisa really is able to lead from a position of empathy, which is ever more important now in the emergency management space. I am absolutely delighted that her peers have reflected this in the nomination. I certainly wholly support it.
Coming into the Ministry of Home Affairs, I knew that there would be somewhat of a learning curve for me. And my approach to this has always been first and foremost to seek to understand and to build trust and respectful relationships with the people that I work with. The business of home affairs is quite unique by nature, and no day is really ever the same. One has to really understand the business of home affairs to then be able to be a part of an effective solution to what is often pretty complex issues that have major consequences when the right decisions aren't made. My role as an acting deputy chief officer is to really provide support and be an advocate so that these essential public safety entities can effectively carry out their business. Sometimes this might be as simple as getting the right people in the room for dialogue and brainstorming, being a bridge where I'm needed to be one, doing the research to look at international best practice, or just empowering our leaders to make good, sound, defensible decisions. We have some truly great leaders within Home Affairs, and it is a privilege for me to work alongside them. I have a lot of respect for the individuals working on the front line in public safety. These are persons who are willing to put their lives on the line every day in service to our country. Without their commitment and their passion, the Cayman Islands would not be the safe and stable place it is for us to live, visit, and invest. Since becoming a civil servant 19 years ago, there have been a number of individuals who have helped me to grow professionally and who have truly invested in my development as a leader. But in terms of a role model, I have to look no further than within my own family. My mother, Mary Lou Miller, in particular, has been a shining example of a humble leader. I can recall Matthew chapter 6 being her life's mantra. That chapter in the Bible speaks about doing good for the sake of doing good, not for recognition or title or glory. And this has certainly been instilled in me by my mother, and she is where my humility comes from. I feel very blessed because I can use my work or my role to do good, to actually make lives better, to make a positive impact on my country, and quite simply make this a better place for my children and their children. The experience I have gained from this secondment has been absolutely invaluable. I've been able to contribute to meaningful policy development, legislation, and public safety strategies at a national level. I am truly grateful to Casey Mobley, who nominated me for this award, and to the acting chief officers in the Ministry of Home Affairs, both Mike Ebanks and Julian Lewis, who have shared in the responsibility in this role for the last 2 years. They have endorsed the nomination, and I'm grateful to the Deputy Governor for selecting me as Employee of the Month. I'm ever so grateful to the amazing team at the Department of Community Rehabilitation, specifically Melissa Rivas and Erica Ebanks, who have been acting in the capacity of Director and Deputy Director since I've been on the secondment. Without their unwavering support, I would not have had this opportunity. Being selected as Employee of the Month is indeed a privilege, but it is not so much about me as it is about what we can achieve when we empower our leaders, when we work together, and when service to our people and our country is at the heart of everything that we do.
In November, we had 4 Chief Officer's Choice recipients. They are Joanna Bond, Adonis Prado, Richard Graham, and Shamal Clark. Kindly stand if you're here with us tonight. Congratulations to Lisa and the November Chief Officer's Choice recipients. Last but certainly not least, the December Employee of the Month winner, Ms. Tara Robinson, is a recruitment manager with the Ministry of Education. Ms. Robinson won the December Award for developing exceptional leadership. Let's now turn to the screens to learn a little bit more about our final nominee.
Tara Robinson, Recruitment Manager, Ministry of Education, responsible for recruitment across public schools. We focus on attracting high-quality talent. We don't have issues finding talent. We get thousands of applications a year. Sometimes it's up to 8,000 applicants for teaching positions. Yes, for one position, sometimes it's 500 applicants. So the selection is there. It's a lot of hours, a lot of commitment, but it's something that I enjoy because I know what the end result is, and the key importance is for our young people, to support our young people. For me, just watching how our society is growing and how our young people need a lot more support. Each year we revisit the system and what the children's needs are, and we always get key support with the funding to give us what we need to deliver to our students. For example, for mathematics, we realize that that's always a challenge for us, for our students. Now we're focusing on adding more math coaches. So that's our drive for this year. SEN is always a big thing for us, special education needs. We spend a lot of time and effort putting in the right specialists, the right places to support our students, to ensure that they're all successful and all learning. The first week on the job, moving to a new island, new country, and adapting to a new culture can be very overwhelming and stressful. When my team is planning the welcome for our new employees, I think about how we can welcome them, welcome our education in an awesome way. I try to do things different. So I'm very creative, so every year I try to do something very different for them. The first week, we want to get them excited, energized, and be ready to meet their new colleagues and students. We focus a lot on providing that professional one-on-one support. Sometimes I source apartments, I view them on their behalf, I secure them before they arrive, help them with transportation. Sometimes I turn my office into a daycare center when they're doing training, and we watch the kids while they're completing all their training and induction, you know. I always ensure that our new appointees feel welcome, valued, and supported.
She goes above and beyond, seamlessly, always available to those staff members. Day, night, weekends, she is seen out and about, and new staff can call her. Everyone who knows Tara knows that she's a very outgoing person, but she also has a passion for caring for people. And that is what makes her such a good Chief Officer's Choice.
We always try, we focus on providing a true Cayman kind experience for them when they arrive. You know, we give them special bags or special goodies about the island and take them on cultural tours. One of my favorite things with them is I do a lunch, a celebration lunch. It's not funded by the department. I didn't normally fund it. Just one of my things that I like to do. We take them to one of the local restaurants, introduce them to the local cuisine. It's in a casual environment. This is where we communicate. It's a space where the entire team is sharing a bit about themselves. I share a bit about my personal stuff, my grandkids,
little bit about Cayman life, the beach, and then they'll tell me about their likes, dislikes, a little bit about them, and we all get to know each other on a personal level, and it's usually a lot of fun.
The government approved 80 assistant teachers for our schools across our school system, and Tara was tasked with finding and recruiting 40 of those by January 2024, and she accomplished that and more. As a matter of fact, we have most of the other 40 recruited now. So that took her and her team of one many extra hours to conduct those interviews and find the right persons to be assistant teachers in our system. We're talking about nation building. That starts with having teachers who can impart that knowledge to our students.
An educated population is a critical component in any economic growth of a nation. That starts with attracting, recruiting, and retaining top talent. Generational impact for the people of the Cayman Islands. That is my why.
Tara is also joined by 3 Chief Officer's Choice recipients, Taylor Langfit, Latoya McField, and Herlin Giopano. Chief Officer's Choice winners, please stand if you're with us tonight. Congratulations to Tara, Taylor, Latoya, and Herlin. Okay, folks, that concludes the nominee summaries, which means that we are inching ever closer to knowing which of them will be the next Employee of the Year. This is off script, but I have to say this. After watching those 12 videos, DG, I don't know how you made that decision. There are 12 winners in this room as far as I'm concerned. This must be a moment of anxiety for each of the nominees, and I was curious to know what they might be thinking at this exact moment. So I asked some of the previous winners about their memory of the night, and here's what they shared. Our first ever Employee of the Year winner, Nicholas McLean, shared that he had no acceptance speech prepared right up until the point that he parked at Governor's Beach, minutes before the ceremony started. The thought occurred to him that he should prepare something in the unlikely event that his name was called that evening. Nicholas shared that this was especially important since there would be no chance of him being able to coherently wing any sort of acceptance remarks. So he scribbled down some thoughts on a scrap piece of paper that he found in his glove compartment, subsequently ran out of space, but sensibly continued on to capture the remainder of his remarks on his phone. When Nicholas was announced as the winner, he remembers it taking a moment to sink in. He paused and looked around to see if any other Nicholas McLeans had stood up. Then he looked over his shoulder to make eye contact with his manager, who was seated behind him, and that's when it sunk in. Nicholas confessed that he still doesn't know how he managed not to fumble the transition between paper and cell phone, but acknowledges that he probably did and has simply blanked it from his memory. So you know what I'm doing right now, right? I'm looking around to see if any of the nominees are writing. Okay. Continuing our leisurely walk down memory lane, Miss Venice Tatum confessed that she prepared in advance, but only after being prompted by a friend to do so. In fact, she was at the airport on her way to Grand Cayman for the ceremony when she got to talking to her friend, and her friend realized how nervous she was at the possibility that she may have to go up on stage. Her friend smartly suggested that she write a few words down, to which Venice thought, I'm not going to win. I am not going up on that stage. Well, Venice, Good thing you wrote a few things down because you went up on that stage. Our 2014 Employee of the Year winner, Miss Gidget Powell, recalls being frightened and hoped that she didn't fall down and embarrass herself in front of high officials, including the governor. Unlike Nicholas, who prepared at the very last minute, Gidget didn't prepare at all. Instead, she chose to wing it. In winging it, she expressed her dedication to being a civil servant. In providing me with this information for the script, Ms. Powell elaborated on why her dedication to the civil service is so deep. She explained that her father passed away during her early childhood years, leaving her mother to raise 5 children on her own. She added that her mother worked as a cleaner in the neighborhood to make the little money that they had. As a result of their plight, the government stepped in to provide free lunches for Gidget and her siblings. The government also provided a scholarship for her sister to attend the University of Tampa. So, from a very young age, Gidget made a promise, and that promise was that when she finished school, she would work for the government out of appreciation and gratitude for assisting her family when they were at their lowest. And ladies and gentlemen, Gidget wants you to know that even today, her dedication has not changed and that she is proud to have served the civil service for 36 years so far. What a story. Thank you for your dedicated service, Ms. Powell. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one more moment of magic to highlight before we announce the 2022 Employee of the Year. Tonight's third moment of magic winner goes to the Cayman Islands Government's Wellness Committee. The CIG's Wellness Committee works toward creating a healthy civil service for over 4,000 employees. The committee, which comprised of 8 volunteer members in 2022, works toward achieving its goal by organizing a wide range of activities, including activities to facilitate the achievement of healthier bodies and healthier minds. In 2022, the Wellness Committee expanded its usual offerings to include networking events such as Art on the Lawn and Quiz Night. Both events provided opportunities for civil servants to network and build connections with their colleagues. These interactions fostered a sense of community and collaboration within the civil service, promoting teamwork and positive working relationships. Another wellness initiative was Kind Regards, which encouraged civil servants to act kindly towards each other. This emphasis on kindness created a supportive and uplifting work environment, enhancing employee morale and job satisfaction. Also, in 2022, the Wellness Committee facilitated the Unsung Heroes program, which resulted in 18 departments being given vouchers to acknowledge their hard work and service over the years. The fitness activities put on by the Wellness Committee included the long-running GAB Walk Run Club, pun intended, and yin yoga sessions. Both activities offer civil servants opportunities to engage in regular physical exercise, which can improve physical well-being as well as positively affect mental health, reducing stress, and increasing overall productivity and focus. The Wellness Committee also helped to make gym memberships more accessible to civil servants by offering the gym membership deduction program. By facilitating this deduction program and encouraging regular exercise, this initiative improved the overall fitness levels of civil servants. leading to better health outcomes, increased energy levels, and improved work-life balance. In 2022, the committee also offered learning and development sessions on emotional intelligence and understanding communication styles, which helped to enhance civil servants' interpersonal skills and self-awareness. These sessions positively impacted communication and teamwork abilities, improving relationships with colleagues and the public we serve. Additionally, sessions on mental health, mindfulness, ergonomics, and nutrition gave civil servants valuable knowledge and resources to prioritize their well-being. These sessions help them make informed decisions about their physical and mental health, leading to improved overall wellness, increased resilience, and better work-life balance. Overall, the CIG Wellness Committee fostered a sense of community, improved physical and mental well-being, enhanced communication and teamwork skills, celebrated diversity and inclusion, and provided valuable knowledge and resources for personal and professional growth. These impacts contributed to a healthier, more engaged, and motivated civil service workforce. Ladies and gentlemen, you know the drill. Please help me to offer a round of applause to the third and final Moments of Magic winner tonight. Members of the Wellness Committee, please make your way to the stage to collect your award. Congratulations to the CIG Wellness Committee. I will now ask all of the CIG Employee of the Year Hall of Famers to stand if they are in attendance, starting with Nicholas McLean, 2012 to 2013. Do you have your BlackBerry with you? Lucky for you, no speeches tonight for you to fumble between paper and BlackBerry. Venice Tatum, who we know is stuck in the BRAC along with my co-host. Gidget Powell, 2014 to 2015. Philbert McFarland, 2015 to 2016. Aubrey Bodden and Tristica Ebanks, 2016 to 2017. Mr. Levi Allen, Employee of the Year 2018, who sadly departed this life too soon. Lisa Welcome, 2019 to 2020. Lisa Welcome, she'll be back. Okay. The 2020 Team Award winners, some of which are also stuck in the BRAC, namely the Department of Education Services, Continuation of Education Excellence Initiative, and the Sir John A. Cumber Primary School Lunch and Grocery Delivery Team. And Loretta Mack, 2021 Employee of the Year. At this time, we will be treated to a special video recapping the 10-year history of the DG's awards program.
Throughout my tenure in government, in the civil service, now 41 years, I've had the pleasure of working with outstanding civil servants, good mentors, good leaders, dedicated employees. I've had persons who were professional, who had the highest integrity, that passion of being a civil servant. Many of us joined the civil service because we want to serve our country. We want to make lives better. I thought we needed a program to showcase the amazing talent that we have in our civil service, because I work with these people, every day. I cross their paths, but the public never gets to see some of the magic that is happening behind the scenes. They see a result. Cayman is an outstanding place to live and to work, but they don't realize how that is actually happening. It's happening because of, for the large part, an amazing work and job being done by civil servants in keeping us safe, in making sure that our government services work, that we can take care of those that are needy and are vulnerable, and administrating justice. So there are so many things that we do behind the scenes that people take for granted. And I thought it was so very important for the public to see just a few of our superstars from time to time. It has been a true moment of magic for me as head of the civil service. I have never delegated the task of giving out the awards. Whether I am on vacation or whatever, I want to make sure that I am there personally to give out these awards because they mean a lot to me. And I then see the look on civil service faces, who some persons who have worked in our service for so many years, but has never been given an award, to see the look on their faces, to see the look on the faces of their colleagues. There's always a burst of applause when we give out these awards because the staff members know that the person that we have awarded is most deserving. So seeing the look on the awardee's face, on their colleagues, is a real great movement of magic for me. I absolutely love it. One of the things that I would like to see more of, it has been a very successful program, but I know that there are a lot of superstars out there, a lot of amazing civil servants who are not being recognized. So my challenge to the entire civil service is to increase the nominations. The Ministry of Employment and Border Control, Ms. Brianna Ebanks and Chief Officer Howell have done an amazing job. They have been able to nominate someone every month for years. So that could happen in other ministries. So I want to issue the challenge today to the chief officers, the HODs, senior managers, nominate your staff. They are deserving. Some of them go above and beyond every day. What do I look for when I'm choosing an Employee of the Month? I look for various things. I look for passion, for integrity, professionalism. Those are key things. Very rarely do I give an award for someone who did just one thing. There are times when we have a Customs and Border Control officer who detected a COVID-positive person coming in at the airport, possibly saved many lives. We awarded that person for that outstanding performance. But normally I look for a body of work where the civil servant has performed at a very high level over a period of time and how they have made people's lives better, whether there are internal customers or external customers. I look for a number of things to ensure that the person is outstanding. They have performed an outstanding body of work that we can be proud of. Making lives better is a great privilege that we have as civil servants. We can make lives better in the civil service, in the wider public service, much different than anyone else in the private sector can do. We have this amazing ability to do it, whether it is issuing a passport in 24 hours to a sick child that needs to get off island, approving someone's naturalization application who's been in the island for 20 years, but if they don't get their naturalization, they can't leave the island, doing that in 2 days. And I could repeat a number of things that we can do, or we have done, that made people's lives better in a very real way. Processing a young Caymanian who wants to start a new business, processing their applications for work permits in a short period of time that they can start their business and be successful. We have that ability to make people's lives better in a very, very real way. It's a privilege And with that privilege comes with it responsibility. So every day we should come to work with that charge. I am here to make people's lives better. I'm here to serve the government of the day and to make the country successful. I implement their programs, their priorities, and that will make people's lives better. So the good news is I see world class. The reason that we chose world class as a revision is because I have every confidence in our civil servants that they can perform at a world class level. I believe that every day I wake up that our civil servants can perform at a world class level. And we have seen it. Over the years, we have been awarded international awards, whether it's Investors in People, Program Management Awards that we got from the UK, Portfolio of the Civil Service getting an award internationally. So we've seen that. World class means that we are performing at the highest level and that we can put ourselves up against any civil service anywhere in the world, compete with them at the very highest level, and that we are performing our duties and taking our responsibilities seriously and performing at that level where people say, wow, and people look forward to doing business with us. World class is a journey. In some areas, we are doing exceptionally well, but we know that there are other areas where we have to improve. When the Premier of our country says, Deputy Governor, you have a world-class civil service, then we know that we have a world-class civil service. When our customers say, you have a world-class civil service, then we know. When our staff say, I belong to a world-class organization, then we know that we are world-class. So our customers, our elected leaders, our staff, how can we work harder to make that happen? And it's about collaboration, breaking down silos, working together, and being proud of each other's success. That is something that we must always remember, is to work collaboratively. There's no silos. Chances the work that you're doing in your ministry or your department can be made better if you just collaborate with another department. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. That's one thing that I think we must get better at, is the collaboration. But also, something that we also need to remember is that we have to celebrate our victories. We have too many silent victories in our civil service. So we are doing some amazing things, but sometimes as a Caymanian society, local community, we don't like to brag about ourselves. But sometimes we need to get out there and sing to say, listen, we are doing some amazing work for you, and here it is, so that the public can see, because they certainly hear of our misery, but they don't often hear of our magic. So that is something that I think we need to get better at. And the good news is this program does exactly that. It showcases the talent that we have, and it showcases some of the magic that happens within our civil service.
At this time, I'd like to invite the Chief Officer of the Portfolio of the Civil Service, Mrs. Gloria Macfield Nixon, to the stage to make a special award.
You were determined to have that twin MC after all. Thank you so much, Lauren. And can we just say a tremendous round of applause for our MC tonight. She has been amazing, as always. Mr. Manderson, it's hard to believe that it's been 10 years already. When we began this journey, it had very humble beginnings at Government House. And I remember one year in particular when, on an evening not unlike this one, the heavens opened up. And as we huddled underneath a tent, all standing, our backs wet, the show went on. And it was still a tremendous event, not because of the environment that was around us, but because of the environment generated by the tremendous civil servants whose contributions we were honoring. Mr. Manderson has a saying that is posted above his desk, and it is, "No more silent victories." Across our civil service, men and women are doing tremendous things, and he's reminded us as leaders, it is our job to make sure that we recognize those things, that a thank you costs us nothing, but it can mean everything to the individual who's been giving their lives towards making other people's lives better. So Mr. Manderson, on behalf of the civil service, the Cayman Islands government, we just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for your leadership. And I understand we have a not so small token of our appreciation.
Thank you. I knew you could handle that, Miss Gloria, because if there's anything you're good at, it's an impromptu speech. Nailed it. And let me just say this because I don't have much more microphone time, okay? Like, I'm about to pass it over. I tried to share the mic tonight. Y'all see that? I brought in a co-host, I wrote a script for a co-host, I practiced with a co-host, and the God said no. So you can expect me again alone next year. I'm not trying this again, okay? We will now have the presentation of trophies to the 2022 Employee of the Year finalists. To make the presentations, I call to the stage Her Excellency, the Governor. Finalists, I will call you to the stage one by one and ask that you remain on stage for photographs. Starting with the January 2022 Employee of the Month, Erwin Schmid. You can exit on whatever side you think is safest, based on planning regulations and stuff.
I just wanted to see you.
Oh, hi. Katrina Watler, February 2022 Employee of the Month. Colin Lumsden, Employee of the Month, March 2022. Clark, Lysandra Clark, April 2022 Employee of the Month. Justin Miller, Employee of the Month, May 2022. Katrina Wilson, June 2022 Employee of the Month. Okay, we're halfway through, and I just feel like I need to check with Mr. Schmidt. Are we in line with planning code?
No, I'll check you later.
Have we exceeded the weight capacity for the stage?
Exactly. I think you should leave and let me take over.
He said I should get down and he'll take over. I just told you I don't want a co-host. That didn't work out. That did not work out. Continuing on, Rosa Rich, Employee of the Month, July 2022. Mitzi Watson Jervis, August 2022 Employee of the Month. Linda Isaac, September 2022 Employee of the Month, who I do not believe is with us tonight, but we will applaud her. Miss Sarah Orett, Employee of the Month, October 2022. Lisa Malise, November 2022 Employee of the Month. And Tara Robinson, Employee of the Month, December 2022. Thank you, Your Excellency. If I can get the nominees to line up in two different lines, the tallest to the back. Well, you're all pretty much the same height. But Tara has insisted on this photo. She wants 2 rows, trying to organize it logically. Okay. Tara's in. She's here to supervise, David. Okay. Tara, sorry, he wants 1 line. Remain on the stage. DG, would you join us for a photograph, please? And the governor, please. Me, if he can squeeze me in. I just realized for the last 4 years, I never get in this picture. It's so unfair. And the Premier. Honorable Premier. I'm jumping in. I don't know if you all saw, but I was smiling for that photo. I have no idea if I was in the frame, but God knows I was trying. I won't be in a picture. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have all been waiting for is upon us. No more surprises, no more wagers, no more educated or uneducated guesses. To announce the 2022 Employee of the Year, I now invite the Chief Officer of the Portfolio of the Civil Service to the stage. And for clarity, Gloria, yes, you have to speak.
Good evening. Wow. What an amazing program we've had this evening. DG says it every single time. Now, those of you who know the Deputy Governor, you know every single day is amazing, wonderful, brilliant, awesome. But the week of this particular event. DG, how you doing? Psh, boy, glow. This year hard. And this year in particular, and quite fittingly for the 10th anniversary of the DG's Award, we understand, sir, it was quite hard. The individuals being honored today are all winners. Their contributions and the way that they conduct themselves every day, and for many of them for many years, has helped us to make lives better and has helped the civil service collectively to stand tall. Their contributions come from such diverse areas of operation within the civil service, and yet the thing that they all have in common is not just the dedication to professionalism, not just tremendous passion, not just integrity that's beyond reproach, but they understand why they do the things that they do. Each of them in the stories that they have shared have talked about their day-to-day duties, but have connected to a larger purpose. They understand how their work specifically can make lives better. For some of them, we've heard that this may mean that they are working on the physical and built infrastructure, and that the work that they do allows individuals to sleep well in their homes knowing that they're safe, as well as individuals that may occupy tall rise buildings within the Cayman Islands. For some of them, the way that they contribute is dealing with the physical space in a way that creates a space for families and communities to come together and that can help us revitalize our downtown area, our capital. For some of them, it's about HR, whether it's talking about using a system that can bring people together and can provide one common platform, a one-stop shop for all things that relate to our people and talent within the civil service. Or maybe it is that they have that special magic for being able to attract the type of talent that will not only do great things, but also help build future generations in the way that they nurture and teach them. For some of them, it's about compliance, and it's not just about making sure that they're able to fight money laundering and anti-terrorism, but that they will take the first, the second, the third, and the fourth call from the same customer each time with the same commitment to helping them and the same passion for doing so. So many diverse individuals. No task and no job is too small, because even when you're paying the bills, you understand how the work that you do is making it possible for Cayman's athletes and our youth and our artists to be able to flourish. You understand how the work that you do may make sure that no child goes hungry as they're in school, and that no parent has to worry about their children because our vendors are being paid in a timely way. We understand our purpose. We understand that even when we're talking about doing things like ensuring that employers are honest so that every Caymanian can be able to live to their full potential and be able to have a bright future and be optimistic about their future. Or perhaps it is that you're working in other areas, all passionately. Tonight was hard. But the DG recognized that there were so many ways that our individual, who is tonight's winner, has really stepped up and helped the civil service stand tall. You see, this individual is a gateway to the civil service, the first and last face you will ever see, whether you've come to see the governor, the premier, the deputy governor, or any one of the 800 people working at the GAB. This person understands through multiple generations what it means to be Cayman kind and what it is to teach and treat every single individual from whatever background they come from with respect and dignity, because you can relate with empathy to the plights they face. This individual has a smile that lights up a room, a voice of 1,000 angels, They are passionate about the work that they do. And when they say that they are the face of the Cayman Islands government, a representative for the people, then you know who I'm talking about. 2022 Employee of the Year is none other than Miss Sarah Orrit.
Menopause.
Please welcome to the stage our 2022 Employee of the Year, Miss Sarah Orrit. In addition to being given an amazing plaque this evening, Miss Sarah is the recipient of a $5,000 cash award. And she will accompany the DG as the face of our civil service, taking this show on the road and telling all of the wonderful stories about our civil service. Congratulations, Ms. Orrit.
So Chief Officer McFeel-Nixon is getting a little comfortable on this stage, probably thinking she can be my co-host next year. No. I was supposed to say all of that. Now that I've taken the mic back, I just want to ask Miss Sarah, did you prepare your speech for today? She's ready.
Oh, yeah.
She's ready. I now invite our new Employee of the Year to offer her remarks.
Dear Miss Mark. I don't even know where to start. Honestly, every day in my office it's Happy Friday, and now today is really happy, and I don't know what to say. So it's a good thing I prepared. Thank you all. I'm happy. I'm really happy, and I thank you all for everything. First and foremost, I would like to say thank you for recognizing my efforts with the Cayman Islands government and bestowing me with such an honor. I would like to thank Almighty God, the author and finisher of my life, acknowledging that through it all, he never gave up on me, but I never gave up on him either. Thank you, Lord. Thank you to my church sisters and brothers at Wesleyan, Ocean Bay Presbyterian, Church of Christ, Seventh-day Adventist, and John Gray Memorial. Erwin, Katrina, Colin, Lysandra, Justin, Rosa, Mitzi, Linda, Lisa, my wonderful cousin and best friend, Tara. We are all world-class civil servants. And to me, all worthy of this Employee of the Year award. It was because I said Happy Friday every day. Or I should have said it. I believe we all put our best foot forward. And when I heard all the speeches up there, I really and truly, I wouldn't want to be in Mr. Manderson or anybody's shoes because we were all wonderful. And I appreciate every single one of you and what you do with this Cayman Islands government and how you give our customers the best world-class civil service. I would also like to acknowledge and thank Roy, my two sons, Nishan and Zaphon, my stepson Scotty, and his wife Abby, my mother Daphne, my godmother Rena Jefferson, my aunt Jenny Manderson, Hattie, Rico, Corey, Kalisha, Skylar, and Kayla. My wonderful family that at a young age, people don't know it, but at 2 months old, I went to my father's sister, who's Debbie's mother, Mama Edith. I would like to mention that she was always there for me. In this moment, I wish that she was here. But I know she's looking down tonight, proud as a peacock. First thing she was saying, my little red-head, freckle-faced girl, you know. I love you, Mama, and will forever be grateful to you and your family for what you did to me. I would like to say a special thank you to the Ministry of Customs and Border Control, who pulled me out of a very bad place. I found me when they found me. I was a little bit down because I wasn't permanently employed. But they assured me that they were going to keep an eye on me. Wesley, Brianna, Vinton, Sharon, Debbie, Danielle, Justin, Jason, Ellerine, Lynette, Joyce, Kyria, Tina, and my best friend, Allison, who couldn't be here tonight, but I pray for her. Special mention to the Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure, and now Transport. Ms. Clyde, Charmine, Ventisha, Trenda, Michelle, Estelle, Leda, Wendy, Tristan, Eric, Rhonda, Raquel, Solomon, Brenda, Gloria, Nadira, Kathy, Shireen, John Lee, and Christine. You got to understand, these people really liked Happy Friday. My two lifelong friends, Tara Bush and Shirley Rolston. From the Facilities Management Department, Serena, show yourself. I love you, honey. And Mr. Craig, thank you so much all for giving me that confidence that I lost and showing me that right now that what I had inside could come out in a positive way. I would also like to thank a lot of times we don't acknowledge certain people, but I would like to acknowledge our security detail because we see that we don't see them perform the duties we do. But without them, we wouldn't be safe in that building. We wouldn't get our doors open. We wouldn't get deliveries, facilities management. When I go in the security room, I see all these buttons. I say, can I press anything? No, Miss Hero. I say, but I just want to play with it one little bit. No, that's the loading dock. So they do a lot of things that we don't even recognize. And it really keeps the building functioning. So I would like to recognize them as well. And one of my best friends and persons that when I first arrived at reception was Mr. Fisher. Anybody know Fisher? One of the things he said to me when I first got there, you just listen to me, girl. You don't pay them people no mind. You just follow my lead. So I think Mr. Fisher taught me a lot, okay? And I'd like to also remember my childhood best friends who stuck with me for a long time. Mr. Manderson's sister, Paula Manderson, Mary, Effie, Jessie, and my wonderful cousin, Alana Banks. Two special people in my life for the last 54 years has been Brian Hides and Victoria Hugh. They've always been there for me. A big thank you to my papa, Lenny Hugh, for stepping in and being my father figure when my daddy passed. He was my rock at that time. Phew. I think I need the air condition. Please forgive me, but I had to acknowledge those people because they were very special in this moment that I'm celebrating with you tonight. But I'm going to read you something that I've been writing this now for years. It's not about the award. It's not about what accolades I receive. Not about the $5,000 either, Mr. Minister. Just wanted to say that, sir. But it's about God. God is in my story. Nothing else has brought me to this point. Every time I thought there was no way out or nowhere to go through, he opened when the door was closed, he opened a window. And knowing me, I was climbing out through windows since I was a little girl, so that wasn't hard. People can't override what God has ordained for you. Bad breaks, detours, delays, and even injustice. They can't stop you from your destiny. But just the opposite, they are moving you into your destiny. Always remember everything serves his plan. Not just the good things. What we don't realize is the delays are serving his plans. The betrayals are serving his plans. The bad breaks are serving his plans. 30 years ago, I found myself in a very difficult place. I was homeless for 3 years. No one knew. And today, here I am at the event of the year, the Grammys, Oscars, and everything, with some of the finest people in all of the Cayman Islands, the Cayman Islands Government. But the story is not where we're at now. How it started was in 2016, a man by the name of Troy Worms came to where I was working as manager of the park rangers at Barker's National Park. I was working along with a lady by the name of Ann Stafford. We were, Mr. Premier, you'd be proud of me. I was doing sustainability and climate resilience, sir. He said, you and your team are doing a great job here, but aren't you a qualified office manager? I said, yes, but I had to take the only job that was available. But one of these days, I hope to be the receptionist again at the government admin building. Mr. Worms replied, just keep believing, Miss Sarah. Well, 5 years passed, and I was then given the opportunity to work with the passport office. Miss Jan, Carolyn, Pat, Anna, and a host of Kalisha, who we forget, Errol, and there were a lot of wonderful people. So that only was lasting for temping, and I didn't really last there long, so it was only a 1-year stint. I reunited with all my colleagues and started out with the graduates that I had went to school with in 1982. However, I was only hired as a temp, and then I went on to the Ministry of CBC, again temping. I was able to stay with these wonderful people, thanks to the pandemic. I don't want it to come back though. For 2 years, and was able to stay there and meet some great people. But a wonderful man by the name of Vinton Chinsey and Miss Allison Minus Phillips noticed my really, really hard, dedicated work. I was one of those committed people, always coming on time. Decided to assist me with getting another temping post with Shushan O'Connor, and who else? Mr. Eric Bush. This post sent me to the Holiday Inn isolation facilities for travelers during the pandemic. While I was there, the Lord gave me 3 wonderful ladies. Lisa Gager, thank you. Claudia Brady, thank you. And my lifelong friend, Tristica E-Bikes, thank you. Who then decided to appoint me, because they were finished with that isolation facility, they were up there a long time. Yes, Sarah, you can be the manager now. I need to go back. I got to my work. Anyway, I was appointed the manager for isolation and facilities at the Holiday Inn. It was a wonderful experience. I was able to assist a lot of people who were having difficult time. A lot of them were calling me, they had cancer. A lot of them were diabetic. A lot of them had kidney failure. Many of them were not well because those were the people that were essential travel at that time. So a lot of them, especially Mr. Errol Scott, and a man named Rivington Powry, and a man named Joey E-Banks from North Side. Miss Brianna, you know him? Called me up and said, "Girl, what kind of food this is? I can't eat this. I can't eat this." They said, "You know what, when you get me? Some turtle meat, darling." I hear Liberty's got a good plate of food down there. Go so get that for me. Then Mr. Rivington called. They said, "I need oxtail." And then I'm going like, but wait a minute. They're supposed to be eating the food here. Anyway, it went on, and I just continued to do these little favors. And then that's where it came to the next step. All of a sudden, now during all this time, the enemy were working at me. He was saying, "But you're not getting no job, girl. You're not getting no job." But I continued to press on. I said, no. If God put this in my heart, I know there's a job for me. Anyways, it ended up now that as fate would have it, or I should say God would have it, one day in walks the one and only Troy Worms. He says he was visiting the facilities, isolation facility, and introduced himself as the director of facilities management. Well, he then stated that he was getting a lot of phone calls from people, and I started to get frightened, and I said, "Geez, some Peters, I get arrested. I shouldn't have bought that food for you." But no, he informed me he was looking for a receptionist to take over of the front desk at government. I said, yes, my love. You don't need to say no more. He said, "I not finished, Miss Here." I said, "I don't care. I'll take it." So he said, "But it's only temp." I said, "I'll take it." Anyways, I never hesitated, and I said yes to him, and the rest is history. Here I am now, one of the 12 finalists and the recipient of Employee of the Year. Now, when I started this story, I said, God is in this story. So one of the things I can tell anyone, whether it's Employee of the Year or Employee of the Month or Chief Officer's Choice, just do your best. Give it your very best and make every day a happy Friday. Someone said to me, they say, they're calling you the face of Gab, And my response to that was, I may be the face you see, but I represent all of the passionate, wonderful, professional employees of our Cayman Islands government that you do not see. And behind the scenes, everything you see operating in this government is not just the chief officers, ministers, premiers, governors. It is our support staff. Those people are the engine of this Cayman Islands government. And if I can represent them in the way that I will give our customers world-class civil service, then yes, I am the face of GAP. And I will continue to do what I do with passion, integrity, and professionalism. It would not be me if I didn't give a little joke. Well, I did that a couple times, but let me tell you another one. Which I shared with Mr. Manderson and Mr. Eric Bush. They asked me, now, for those people that don't work at the government, everything when I got there I learned is acronyms. You gotta learn your acronyms. These people talk and you see how you do that thing about what you call speed writing? Well, that's how they talk in that government building. I didn't know what they were saying. So I had to learn the acronyms. So if you know the Cayman Islands Government Admin Building is called GAB. So I leave you on this note. Mr. Manderson said, how do you do such a great job? I replied and threw my hair back like that. I said, Mr. Manderson, I got the gift for GAB.
Miss Sarah?
You want co-host next year, what?
It's funny
You're not gonna be handling two redheads up here.
It's funny you should say that because I was gonna say, I feel like I need to retract some prior statements. I would co-host this event with you. You sure we not family?
Cayman Brackers all the way.
Woo, I lost my place in my script because of you. Congratulations to you. And Nicholas, that was a well-prepared speech. That wasn't written on no napkin. And she didn't fumble between a napkin and a BlackBerry. So if ever you were to win an award again, you might want to sit down with Miss Orett and get some pointers. Congratulations to our 2022 Employee of the Year, Ms. Sarah Orett, all of the Employee of the Year finalists, and our Chief Officer's Choice recipients. I would like to thank the Honorable Deputy Governor who developed this awards program and continues to be the driving force behind this incredible staff recognition initiative. I would also like to thank the Chief Officer of the Portfolio of the Civil Service and those employees within the same portfolio who work tirelessly to deliver an enjoyable and memorable evening year after year. To the Honorable Premier and the Honorable Ministers of Cabinet, I thank you for your consistent attendance and support of the Employee of the Year ceremony. Thank you to those chief officers, HR professionals, and other nominators who make a commitment to scan their organizations each month to identify those top performers who are worthy of nomination for this prestigious award. Thank you to the organizers of tonight's event, particularly Tara Bush and Christine Wright. And I will pause here as I've been made to understand there's a special token for these two ladies. DG, if you would join me. And Miss Tara, if you could make your way up to the stage. I have not seen Miss Christine. She may be hiding in the background. She does not like the spotlight like I do. Oh, there she is. She was hiding. I would also like to thank the governor for her first ever attendance at the Oscars, the CIG Oscars. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to those civil service and private sector partners who helped to bring this show to fruition. While the list is exhaustive, you know who you are. We sincerely thank each and every one of you for your efforts, commitment, and contributions, all of which helped to make tonight possible. A very special thank you to our Department of Communications team who worked diligently to ensure a beautiful and well-run show. Additionally, thank you to Ms. Shanda Gallego and Azidame Bodden for leading us in song and prayer, respectively. Thank you as well to civil servant Danielle Roberts and family for providing the lovely steel pan music during the networking portion of the evening. A very special thanks is extended to the colleagues, family, and friends of the nominees who came out tonight to support them. I would also like to thank the staff of the Kimpton for their hospitality throughout the evening. I think you will all agree that they facilitated a world-class event. One final announcement before I officially conclude. The Employee of the Year nominees, sorry to do this to you again, and the new Employee of the Year are asked to remain in the ballroom after we have concluded the ceremony for more photos. Ladies and gentlemen, that officially concludes the evening. Thank you for attending, and I wish you all a pleasant evening and a safe journey home. Thank you.